Hey vinyl community, welcome back to Mike's Vinyl Experience. Thank you all so much for being with me here today. I appreciate each and every one of you so very, very much. Finally today I'm going to share with you my thoughts, my review, and my comparison of the latest Analogue Productions as part of the Atlantic 75 series of Yes, the Yes album. The third album by Yes, released in 1971, and what a great album it was and is today. You know, just before I get into the review and telling you what I think of this new release, let me just tell you how grateful I am and happy that Analogue Productions is doing this series, Atlantic 75, and let me tell you why. They're reproducing and remastering some of the greatest classic albums of my time. And I am not kidding you. I didn't subscribe to it. I'm not getting them all. I'm only buying the ones that I like. And I've got to be honest with you. There is a lot I probably should have subscribed. Hindsight anyway. I didn't. But there are just some absolutely fantastic albums. And then as they release these albums, you go back and you listen to them and you have forgotten just how good these albums are. This one in particular, just down memory lane, remembering the great music that is on this album. I always think of I've Seen All Good People because it's a great song, a fantastic song on this album that I truly and truly love. But I forget everything else on the album. I forget how great the music is. All the rest of the songs on here are all, in my opinion, absolutely wonderful, but I have forgotten because I just don't get it out and play it that often. But this new series, the Atlantic 75, has really got me going down memory lane, and then having the ability to get a fresh new remaster job of some of these absolute classic albums, to me, is absolutely wonderful. I'm so excited for this series. I love it. I'm happy to be a part of at least sharing some of this stuff with you on the ones that I like and enjoy. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Yes, the 1971, the Yes album. So really quickly, a little teeny bit about Yes. This album was their third album, released in 1971, and the band members were John Anderson, vocals and percussion. John Anderson is really one of the main reasons why I radiated and gravitated towards Yes. His voice, I just think, is so unique, so good. I just loved his voice, especially on I've Seen All Good People. Probably one of the songs that really got me going into Yes, to be honest with you. Chris Squire, bass guitars and vocals. Steve Howe, electric and acoustic guitars. Tony Kaye, piano, organ, and moog. Love the organ in I've Seen All Good People. Wow, what a great addition to that song that organ makes. And Bill Bruford, drums and percussion. Now, as we talked about, this album was released originally in 1971. And my album, my original version of this album, side 2, is really played, has been played a lot, and you can kind of tell a little bit of difference. There might be a little snap, crackle, and pop here and there, but not a lot. It's actually probably very good plus. It's actually in really good shape. Side 1's probably near mint, very good plus. But anyway, an album that I did play a lot in my younger days and even in recent years, but not as much as I would have liked to have. But I tell you what, this reissue, I'm just so grateful for it because I'm going down memory lane, listening to all these incredible songs again. It's just awesome. Well, let's take a look and see what Analogue Productions has done with this new release. Now, Analogue Productions has entrusted Kevin Gray at Coherent to remaster this album. And as we've talked about a lot before, the gatefold covers as part of this Atlantic 75 series have just been unbelievably excellent. I mean, you can see the difference between the two, and this is such a great rendering of the original. Let's open up the gatefold. As you can see, sorry for the glare, trying to get that right. Great artwork, great picture. We'll look at the inside of the original release as well. And then, of course, the back side talks a little bit about, well, it gives you a list of all the songs and some of the credits there as well. What a great, my number is part of the Atlantic 75. Apparently, I don't know how they number them. I think it's supposed to be for subscribers, but I'm not a subscriber. But anyway, my number is 000911, which is really kind of a neat and cool thing that Analogue Productions is doing. Let's quickly take a look at the vinyl. As we know, these are all 45 RPM, 180 gram. Let's take a look at side one. We've only got one song on side one, and by the way, it's a great one. Just absolutely wonderful, wonderful music. These albums are absolutely just, in my opinion, simply stunning. They are pressed at Quality Records, and as we talked about, Kevin Gray did the mastering of these albums. They also put in the box, of course, we've seen this a lot, just a little bit of flyers. This is actually talking about their Pablo series, which I'm highly excited for too. I've been reviewing some of those, excited for the next two of those. And it just talks a little bit about some of the releases they've done as part of the Atlantic 75. Old style tip-on jacket, like we talked about, they are just phenomenal. I think they're doing an absolute, in my opinion, killer job with the jackets that they are doing with this Atlantic 75 series. I just can't express enough how impressed I am with the quality that we are receiving. Granted, we're paying $60 for these albums, but the quality of the product that we are getting, in my opinion, is absolutely stellar. It's excellent. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the music. The sound quality on the Atlantic 75 Analogue Productions up to this point, on the records that I have purchased and that I have reviewed, have all been absolutely excellent. Just first rate in every way. We already talked about the jackets, how incredible they are, but the sound quality is really the main focus of what we're spending our $60 on. And as I review these albums, I listen to them at least 5, 6, even 7 times before I start to take notes. This also gives me the ability so that when I do compare it to original pressing or some other pressing with whatever album it might be, in this case we'll be comparing it to original pressing, but I always like to take those notes so that I can refer back. And I do quite a bit of swapping one from another. I'll listen to a song on the original pressing, then I'll flip and go over to the Analogue Productions version and listen to that. Volume match as best as I can on those. And so that's really kind of the methodology that I use as I listen to these albums to review. I really put forth quite a bit of time in listening to them. Granted, that time is well spent because these albums are fantastic. I wouldn't buy them if they weren't. And just keep in mind, no one sends me albums. I don't get promotional copies. I don't get discounts. I purchase these albums just like most everyone else does, with my own funds. And so I really try to make this as unbiased as absolutely possible and share with you my true thoughts on what I think of what they have done with a repress as compared to original or whatever review or whatever pressing we're reviewing and comparing it with. So on the Analogue Productions Atlantic 75, yes, the Yes album, here's my thoughts on each of the songs throughout this great album, and I'm going to be brief as I go through this. On side one, there's only the one song on side one, Yours Is No Disgrace. Can I just tell you, this is a fantastic song to begin with. It's just great, and I bet you, and to be honest with you, I really bet that I didn't truly appreciate this song until much later in life, maybe in the 90s and even 2000s, when I would go back and listen to this album, I always played side 2 because side 2 starts with I've Seen All Good People. And I kind of missed out, and I don't know if I missed out, but I just preferred to listen to that because it was such a hit at the time when it was released, and loved the song so much, and rightfully so, it's a great song. But Yours Is No Disgrace is an absolute killer song on the album, in my opinion. My observations on the sonics on this song: Yours Is No Disgrace, deep bottom end, without over exaggeration, especially on Chris Squire's bass. You can really identify and hear Chris Squire's bass in this cut. Nice overall balance with a nice extended top end. Steve Howe's guitar just sounds clean and exceptional, with exceptional detail, and that really is throughout the entire album as well. It's a fantastic cut. Balance is excellent. Top to bottom resolution and frequency extension top to bottom is wonderful. It's excellent. Moving over to side 2, The Clap. This is just an acoustic guitar song recorded live. Really nice sounding. It's a live recording at the time. I don't think the acoustics on this song really match that of the rest of the album, but it sounds really quite good. Shockingly good, to be honest with you. Moving on to Starship Trooper. This is the second song on side 2. Well, there's only 2 songs on side 2. Fantastic song. This is another great song on the album. Excellent drums with very good detail and extension. John Anderson's vocals on this cut are clean and natural sounding, and really that's true on every one of the cuts. Of course, The Clap, there's no vocals on that, but really excellent. John Anderson's voice is excellent. I just love his voice. Guitar, once again, is very well detailed. Overall, a fantastic rendition of this song. Side 3, I've Seen All Good People. Probably the most popular song on the entire album. Probably one of Yes's very most popular songs that they did. Rightfully so. It's absolutely excellent. Let me just point out the church organ in this song is phenomenal. It's excellent. Classic song. This song has never sounded this good. This is such a great version of this song. The way Kevin Gray has remastered this and how they've actually put this on vinyl. Wow, it's incredible. Dynamics on this cut are simply unbelievable. Top to bottom, clean and extended on the top and bottom end. All vocals sound incredible. Such a great song and such an incredible album. Moving on to Adventure. This is the second song on side 3. Another stunning song from this great album. One of the great songs that I had forgotten about how good this song really is. Because you think of this album, you think of I've Seen All Good People. That's what we listen to. And just such a great song. Vocals, once again, are superb. Piano and drums, along with vocals, stand out on this cut. It's just got excellent detail. Moving over quickly to side 4. The only song on side 4 is Perpetual Change. And here again, another cut that I had really not listened to in years, and don't know why, because it's simply stunning. Wonderful cut, excellent detail on guitar, drums, and vocals. Dynamics are excellent on this cut. Quiet passages on this song display the quietness of the vinyl, allowing dynamics and detail to really shine. That is so true, because there is many times in this song in particular where there's just quiet passages and you can hear no background. You can hear really no noise floor, no static, nothing of that nature. And I'll talk a little about this more when I compare this to the original, but that's such a huge improvement, is that quiet vinyl, that quiet noise floor, especially on this song. It allows those dynamics to really shine, and man, do they shine. In conclusion, with the Atlantic 75 Analogue Productions version of the Yes album, I hate to sound like a broken record, but Analogue Productions on this Atlantic 75 series is, in my opinion, simply killing it. They are just reproducing these magnificent albums. It's just shocking to me to know what is on those original master tapes, or whatever they might be using, a one-off, Adobe copy, whatever it might be. It's just surprising how incredibly well they were recorded back in the day, and in this case, back in 1971. Absolutely stunning sonics. It brings an absolute whole new life to these albums. In my opinion, they're breathing new life into these classic albums. I'm so excited. I love this series. I think it's absolutely wonderful what they are doing. So how does it compare to the original 1971 pressing? Well, let's take a look at it really quick before I comment on the comparison. Let's quickly take a look at the 1971 albums. As I've told you before, this album kind of has seen a lot of use. Let's open it up and see the gatefold. As you can tell, it's not quite as nice as a new Atlantic 75 version. And, you know, this is an old album. I purchased this new whenever it was that I purchased it, way back when. But to be honest with you, let me just show you the vinyl really quick as well, since we're right here and we got it out. It's a nice vinyl. This is side one. It's probably in, I don't know, very good plus condition. Side two has seen a little bit, a lot more wear than side one, but still I'd say it's very good plus. It still is in good shape, I believe. The sound differences between the two, while the original pressing does sound very good, and that's really one of the reasons why I always would listen to this album, not only because of the great music on the album, but because it really did sound good for that time, and it just sounded excellent. And to be honest with you, today it still sounds excellent, but it's really kind of an unfair comparison when you compare it to this brand new Kevin Gray remixed version of the album. I mean, it's just not really a fair comparison, to be honest with you. It's stunning, the differences between the two. Now, if you're a Yes fan, and maybe the Yes album is not your most favorite album, and you've got an original pressing of the album in good shape, then you're great, you're good. The sound quality is very good. Not disappointing in any way, shape, or form. It's just nowhere near the quality of the 45 RPM Kevin Gray remastered version. It just isn't. I mean, I don't want to say, hey, they're really close or whatnot, because I'll be honest with you, through my ears and on my system, it's really not. I mean, and once again, and I talk about this, I know you probably get tired of me saying it, the quietness of the vinyl, I think, just adds a huge step in the differences when we're comparing in particular to an aging original pressing. That's my opinion anyway on it. The original pressing is very good. Sounds great. It really and truly does. But the new Analogue Productions Atlantic 75 version is significantly better. I just can't begin to tell you, if you're a Yes fan like me, this is a $60. It's a no-brainer. I'm going to purchase all of the Yes albums as part of that Atlantic 75 series that they're doing. I've got a mobile fidelity of Fragile, an original pressing of Fragile, that when that album comes out we can compare it to. But I will be buying them all because I just love Yes. I love that. I know it's progressive rock, but to me it's classic rock because of the time that it was in for me. It just meant a lot to me. The music is just stunning and phenomenal. Okay, let's jump in and take a quick look at the SACD and CD layers of the Analogue Productions version of this album. I talked about in some of the reviews of the Atlantic 75 albums that I purchased that I'm not purchasing them all. There are a few of the Atlantic 75 titles that they are doing that I have purchased on SACD. And the reason that I've done that is I thought I like the album, but I don't love the album, but I'd really like a nice copy of it, and so I bought the SACD. And shortly we're going to be doing a video on some more of the SACDs as part of the Atlantic 75 analog production titles that I have purchased, and I'll give you my thoughts on it. But today, let me just share with you my thoughts on the Atlantic 75 Super Audio CD and the CD layer. To be honest with you, I was pleasantly surprised at how good sounding the CD layer and the SACD layer of this album is. I was actually really shocked. On my Sony ES player, it sounded really good. I was quite surprisingly shocked. The CD layer on the Analogue Productions version seems to me to have a little bit deeper bass than does the SACD. But when switching back and forth between CD and SACD, the SACD layer of this SACD CD Analogue Productions, it actually has better definition. Overall top to bottom definition, even though the CD sounds a little heavier in the bottom end, the SACD is quite a bit more detailed and it just really has quite a bit better detail. Transparency may be quite significant. Some of you may be wondering, well, how does the SACD compare to the Analogue Productions vinyl? Well, it's a completely different, and there's a lot of analogies out there between digital and vinyl. To me, there's a naturalness of the vinyl that just is not overly possible with digital. Now, granted, my digital sources are not the latest and top of the line like some others are, but the vinyl is heads and tails superior to the digital. There's just a presence that the vinyl brings that the CD and SACD just don't have. But honestly, and here again, if you're a Yes fan and you don't have original vinyl, original pressing for $35, this is a great option because it sounds very good. If you're just into digital, dude, you're not going to go wrong picking up this album. It is excellent. It sounds great. Compared to and I don't remember when this was released. I bought it back in the 80s. I know that. The Atlantic CD. It sounds very good as well. To be honest with you, the CD layer of this, the Analogue Productions version, and the original CD that came out whenever it did, there's not a lot of differences, to be honest with you, but the CD layer on the Analogue Productions does sound a little bit cleaner. It does sound a little bit better extended top to bottom. And then, of course, the SACD layer on this one just entices that and just gives you a little bit better detail. Overall, if you're into SACD and CD, this is a great version to have if you're not really into vinyl of the album. That's really my review of this incredible, great album. I love the Yes album. I love Yes in general. As indicated, super excited for the rest of them to come out. I hope that they are equally as good as 90125 and this one. Been very impressed with the Atlantic 75. Sometimes, to be honest with you, I wish I would have subscribed, but I didn't. So I'm just purchasing these things as they come up, and the ones that I absolutely thoroughly love and enjoy, I'm purchasing the vinyl, and I'm glad that I am. Forthcoming, we'll have a video and we'll talk about the SACDs on the ones that I have purchased as part of the Atlantic 75 series. We'll talk about that. Our next video that we're going to have come out, we're probably going to be doing, the next video will be the Count Basie Pablo series albums that are coming out as well. I've got the new Van Halen 2 Super Vinyl Mobile Fidelity one-step on the way to me. We'll compare that to original pressing of the album, as well as the Rhino box set album that has that Van Halen 2 in it. So we'll be looking at those really quick as well. Thank you so much for being with me here today. I appreciate you all so very much. If you like what you see, please go ahead and subscribe. But as always, please leave comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of the Yes album. It's a great album. I love it. Let me know your thoughts on it. Thank you for being with me here today. Have a great day.